This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1776, Using the 525 Rule to Learn to Say No, by James Altucher of jamesaltucher.com. And I'm Justin Malik, the guy who's been reading articles, book excerpts, even student essays to you every day, including holidays, for over 4.5 years, covering personal development or self-help, how to live a better life, and a lot more. It's always with permission from the authors or websites. Just hit the follow or subscribe button in any free podcast app to get new episodes for free. Today's post being from James Altucher. So let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. Using the 525 Rule to Learn to Say No, by James Altucher of jamesaltucher.com. When I was 12, I was obsessed with a book on my parents' shelf, Don't Say Yes When You Want to Say No, a pop psychology book from the 70s all about. I'd pretend to be sick, stay home from school, read the book over and over again, fascinated by the stories. Too bad I didn't learn anything from it. Yes, number one, I wish I had never started a business, to be honest. Here's the results of my first business. My partners, one sister and one brother-in-law, no longer speak to me. I lost all the money I made from that business. I gave up on my dreams of launching a TV show. I was in the middle of pitching 2 shows to HBO at the time I left to do my own business. I gave up on dreams of writing a novel. I stopped sleeping from 1995 to 2010, 15 years of little to no sleep. My brain is now damaged. I learned fear, hate, anxiety, stress, and poverty from that first business. I wish I hadn't said yes to it. Yes, number two, I wish I never started in the financial industry. I ran a hedge fund for many years. I have nothing really to show for it. I learned a lot about business, but I also gave up on doing what I was good at. I was good at building websites. I started my first fund around 2003 after being a solid day trader for the prior 2 years. I read 200 books on finance. I wrote software modeling the markets. I started networking with other hedge fund managers. I started writing about finance. I really became an expert in the entire field of trading and stock markets, etc. You know what? Wall Street is mostly BS and a scam. I really despise almost everyone in that industry. Whereas when I finally started building websites for people again in 2006, I quickly got over 1 million users a month on the first site I released to the public, and I sold it a few months later. I wish I had said no 4 years earlier. Yes, number three, then I wanted to be on TV. Every time CNBC called, I would say yes. I would drop everything and sometimes travel 70 miles so I can go on TV for 3 minutes. I'd be sitting next to the anchor. She'd stare at her notes until 5 seconds before we were going live. She'd say, it was always a she, "How do I say your name again?" I'd look at her and say, "I'll touch her, but fast. I'll touch her." And then she'd still be laughing when we'd go live. I went on twice a week for years. Each 3-minute visit was about 5 hours door to door, including preparation. So about 1,500 to 2,000 hours of wasted time because I couldn't say no. Here's the only thing I learned about news TV. All we are trying to do is fill the space between commercials, one major news producer told me. I said no to something this week. I started taking DJ classes a few weeks ago. I really wanted to learn. But then I thought of the 525 rule that Warren Buffett talks about. What are the top 25 things you want to do in life? DJing, believe it or not, is in my top 25. I love the music. Warren Buffett then says, now take the top 5 and separate from the bottom 20 and never look at the bottom 20 again. Because you love those 20. But it's because you love them that they will always distract from the top 5 that you super love. I super love writing, podcasting, comedy, my family, and the remaining businesses that I'm still involved in, my top 5. That's all I want to say yes to. So I said no to the classes. I said yes to a girl once when I was much younger. It took me years and scars all over me to finally say no to her. I said yes to being on a board of directors once because of greed and money. The business failed and the lawsuit has finally ended after years. I said yes to buying a house. Twice. I lost everything on those. I said yes to 5,000 coffees to just a meet and greet. 4,950 of them I wish I had stayed home and read and written. I said yes to a publisher to writing a book I didn't want to write. I was flattered to be asked, so I did it. That book sold 300 copies and took a year out of my life. Yes steals years of your life. You never get them back. No adds years. This moment I have 248,433 unread emails. I've started saying no to emails. I don't read the newspaper. I don't vote. I don't rent, I just Airbnb. I don't pay any bills since Airbnb is my only bill. I don't spend time with toxic people. I don't have health insurance, too complicated to figure out. I don't go to weddings. I don't really speak at many conferences. Over the years, I said yes to buying many things: books, art, games, collectibles, sheets, furniture, on and on. I wasted yeses. I finally said no to all the things. I cleaned out. I don't want my children to have to inherit a bad yes. I have no regrets because everything I said yes to turned out to be a lesson about no. No is how you whittle down and sculpt yourself into a work of art. Yes is how you burn up and burn out. Do I want to hit publish on this post? Yes. What's your 525? You just listened to the post titled Using the 525 Rule to Learn to Say No by James Altucher of JamesAltucher.com. Thank you to James, reminding me a little bit of one of the very early episodes of this show, episode 44, where I read from Derek Sivers. You might like that one too, although I sound a bit different back then. And I'll keep this intro short for the middle of the week. Thank you for being here and subscribing to the show. Please do subscribe for free if you haven't already. You'll get new episodes automatically. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where optimal life awaits.